All right, guys, so week one, this is gonna be the deepest week emotionally. So for some people, that's kind of really scary, and for some people, not so much. So definitely take this week as it comes for you. And if you're having trouble, definitely get in the Facebook group because we're there to support you. Okay, so what we need to do this week is examine all of those thoughts that are going on in your noggin. So each of us is having between 50 and 70,000 thoughts per day. Most of these thoughts are totally automatic. We don't have to think about them. We know how to do our morning routine, how to drive a car, how to make breakfast. Everything just happens automatically. And most of the time, that's totally great and awesome. If you had to think about every little thing that you did all day, you would be totally overwhelmed. But so these thoughts can become intrusive and not so great when they start becoming mean or rude or just really unkind. So like that moment when you look in the mirror after you got dressed and you're like, ugh, I look awful, I'm so disgusting. That's not very nice. Or you're sitting down to a delicious meal and you think, oh my God, I can't believe I'm about to eat all this, I'm such a cow. Also, not so nice, okay? So what we want to do is examine and see what kind of thought patterns are coming up for you. Because I promise you, if we don't address this first, these are the kind of thoughts and beliefs that are going to sabotage your entire course. So you won't be able to get the most from this program or the lifestyle changes or the eating changes if you're constantly undermining yourself, okay? So the analogy is you have to be able to see the dirt to clean your house. So we gotta find the thoughts so that we can make them into something nicer and kinder and gentler. So how do we do that? The first thing that you need to do is start to notice your thoughts. Because you're on autopilot, we often really don't realize the things that we say to ourselves. So for the next week, I want you to become aware of your thoughts. So every time you catch yourself saying something mean or rude or just not very nice or judgmental, be like, oh, okay, I caught it. And then have a notepad, whether it's in your cell phone or if you want to keep a little diary, something that you'll have with you everywhere you go, so probably your cell phone is probably going to be the thing that you keep with you. So have a notepad in there and just write down that thought. So say you caught yourself, like I said before, and you thought, oh my gosh, I look so disgusting. Catch yourself and write it in your notebook, okay? So the thing you want to remember when you catch these thoughts, that you don't get mad at yourself for having the thought. You don't want to catch the thought and then spiral into a tailspin of, oh my God, I'm so awful, I can't believe I thought that about myself, what's wrong with me, ugh. You want to catch the thought and then celebrate that you caught the thought. So you want to catch the thought and then be like, yes, I caught it, where's my notebook, I'm writing that down, I'm so excited that I caught that thought, okay? So that's why we're turning a negative into a positive. And this has more than just weird, like you're actually releasing endorphins when you get excited like that. So yeah, you're tricking yourself into being excited, but subconsciously you're turning that negative situation into a positive situation. So you want to catch the thought, you want to celebrate that you caught it, then you want to write it down in your notepad, and then go about your day with a smile on your face, forget all about it and move on, okay? So we're going to do that for a whole week. So by the end of the week, you're going to have this list of horrible, awful, mean things that you would never say to another human being. You would never go to your mom and tell her something on that list. If somebody said something on that list to your best friend, you would probably smack them around. Like, these things are not okay. But somehow, some way, they're okay for you to say to yourself? Not so much, not so much. So what we want to do now is take this list of garbage and turn it, I call it from lemons to lemonade, right? So we're going to take each of these thoughts and we're going to examine it a little bit. So the first thing I want you to ask when you look at this thought is, where did this come from, right? So why do you think this about yourself? Is it something you saw in a magazine of the way you're supposed to look? Is it something a shitty ex-boyfriend said to you? Maybe, somebody that you love made an offhand comment to you one time and you just internalize that. Now that's what you think every time that situation comes up. So really think about, where did that come from? Because that'll give you a little bit of power to be like, that's absolutely ridiculous that I think that. Why do I think that? Just because that one person said it one time, now this is controlling my life? No, that's not cool, okay? So the other thing, if you don't know where it came from, don't worry about it, because we're also going to ask ourselves these 3 questions. Is it kind? Is it needful? Is it true? Is the statement kind? I'm assuming that if it's on the list, it's probably not kind. Is the statement needful? Is it necessary? Is it helping you in any way? Is it making your life better? Do you need it? Probably not. Is it true? This you might be able to debate me about a little bit. You might say, no, Alex, I am a fat cow. But if it already failed the first 2, I'm telling you it's not true, okay? So, true, kind, needful. If it fails 2 out of 3 of those, that is not something that you need to be saying to yourself ever, right? So now we're going to turn these statements into lemonade. So take each of the statements and you want to flip it on its head. So I have a PDF below with some examples of how to do that. But really all you're doing is taking that mean statement and turning it into something that feels empowering, that feels true, kind, and needful. So you really want to flip it on its head. So instead of being like, oh, I'm a fat, disgusting cow, you could say something like, I'm beautiful and kind and loving. That feels so much better, just saying that out loud. I'm like, oh, that's so nice. So you want to take each of your lemons and turn them into this beautiful, kind, warm, loving lemonade, okay? So then, the last little bit of this is to take those lemonades, put them on little sticky Post-its, and put them everywhere. Put them on your mirror where you get ready in the morning, put them on your fridge, put them on your desk, put them on your car. You want to see these everywhere all the time. And every time you see one of them, read that statement to yourself and think it to yourself in your head and feel it in your heart. So over time, these lemonades will be your default. And over time, when you catch yourself saying that negative comment to yourself, you'll immediately be able to switch it into lemonade. You'll catch it, you'll be like, whoa, wow, I can't believe I caught that. I'm so glad I caught that. What's the lemonade? And then say the nice thing. And then over time, it'll just happen less and less and less. And these mean things that you were saying to yourself will kind of just disappear and they'll be replaced with this lemonade. So even if this is the only thing that you get from this course, you don't do anything else, you only watch this module, you only apply this lesson, your life is going to be totally different. When you change that horrible, nasty voice inside your head into a positive, loving, empowering, thoughtful, just like kind voice, your life is going to be totally different, I promise. So do this lesson, figure out your lemons, turn them into lemonade. It's going to be so empowering. I promise you it's going to change your life. And now we can move on to step 2.